For your cheapest and most reliable place to buy your FIFA 22 Ultimate Team coins, check out U7Buy, link down in the description below, and use the code WOLF at the checkout for 5% off. YouTube, we are back, and these custom tactics are going to make your opponents rage. Believe you me, they're going to make your opponent smash everything. They're going to make them fucking chuck everything out the window. Believe you me, they're going to do it. So, the 3-5-2, okay? That is what the formation you're going to want to be using. I'm going to show you the tactics in a minute. The 3-5-2 is insane recently. And by the way, YouTube, before we get started, these do work on both old gen and new gen, and they do work for both a God Squad and a Road to Glory, because I do play on both. My Road to Glory is on next gen PS5 and my God Squad is on old gen Xbox, so I don't actually have a new gen Xbox yet. So yeah, they do work on both. The 3-5-2, okay, very overpowered formation. One thing you are going to realise though is you are using 3 at the back, so you're going to definitely, you'll see with the playing instructions how we work it, okay? So just trust me on this. Listen to what I'm saying. Copy the tactics I'm using, and you'll win more games than you lose, believe you me. So, the tactics that I use, of course, is a balance on the defensive tactic. A balanced style where your team presses the ball to the middle of the pitch and your team shape is neutral. Trust me, YouTube, on a 3-5-2, you do not want pressure on heavy touch and press after possession loss. Believe you me, you don't want that, okay? You don't want that. You don't want your defenders pushing up left, right, and centre. Just leave it unbalanced, especially with a 3 at the back. I was even experimenting with drop back at the start. When I first switched to 3-5-2, I was thinking, man, maybe I need to use drop back to get my left mid and right mid to drop back next to my 3 centre backs. But trust me, no, you don't. Balanced is the way to go. Okay, YouTube, the width, I do actually leave it on 42. These numbers are what I was using a little bit. They are Dammy's tactics, but then I did change them here and there a little bit, because I don't really like some of the stuff Dammy uses, but each to their own. So, 42 on the width is something that I do actually use. Okay, so what we want when we're defending, we want the 3 centre-backs to be quite narrow, but then we want the left mid and the right mid to defend the outside lanes, so that's why we have 42 width. So trust me, that works, believe you me. So adjust your defensive team shape to be balanced. You may find that the one-on-one situations are more common when you don't have the ball. So yeah, I like 42 width. It's worked good for me, and it works for Dammy, who also won the tournament with it. So if it works for Dammy, it's probably going to work for me. But there are a couple of changes that I've made. The depth, YouTube, Dammy does use 62, but I don't. I use 55. I don't want it to be too, like, because it's 3 at the back rather than the traditional back 4, I don't want my defensive line to be too high, because you don't have really a lot of options to go. If it goes wrong with 3 at the back, it's going to go wrong, and more than likely we're going to concede a goal, right? So that's why I've left it on 55 rather than Dammy's 62. 55 does work good in my opinion. It's not too narrow, but at the same time, it's not too defensive, if you kind of get where I'm coming from. So, yeah, 42 on the width and 55 depth. Remember, we do have the 2 CDMs in the 3-5-2, so you can afford that little bit higher depth than the neutral 50, which is why I've gone with 55, and it works best. So, yeah, that's why I've gone with that. The build-up play, I have left on balance. Long ball, though, on a 3-5-2, definitely a viable option. The team will make runs for long balls into space behind the opposing back line, or up to a target man. Strikers who are fast with a good attacking positioning attribute are the best at this tactic. Definitely good. I did use that at the start, but you know what I'm like with my custom tactics, YouTube. Once I find something, the happy medium G spot, it seems to work best for me. So yeah, I did leave it on balance. This tactic is used for a balanced team that maintains its formation. Players will support and make runs when they think it's the right time to do so. So yeah, I definitely do leave it on balance. Just find it the most overpowered, really. Chance creation, YouTube. Yes. Direct passing is back. Once the team enters the attacking zone with possession, players will create chances by making runs for passes into space behind the opposing back line. Strikers who are fast with a good attacking positioning attribute are best at this tactic. Very overpowered on the 3-5-2, especially for then. You'll see with the playing instructions, we kind of like defend with a 5, but then we then attack with a 3. We kind of like defend with a 5 at the back, but then when we've got the ball, we attack with a 3 at the back. And the direct passing is really good for getting them players up the pitch quite quickly, rather than sticking in that back 5. So direct passing, been a firm believer of it all year. Sometimes on some tactics, no. Sometimes on others, yes. But for me, the balance, the direct passing on the 3-5-2, 100% works wonders. The width then, YouTube, 55 is what I play on the width. Remember, we do have a left mid and right mid, so I kind of do want a little bit of width when I'm using a 3-5-2. So 55. Adjust your adjust your offensive team shape to be balanced for generic positioning to give you more varied attacking options. Again, though, YouTube, If you don't want that much width, you kind of like want to play with the cam and 2 striker triangles, I probably would recommend like a 52, 53. But for me, I do like to use my left mid and right mid when I'm using the 3-5-2. So 55 width is there for me. Players in the box, YouTube. Yes, you guessed it, 7. There's no real overlying like attribute with this. I just think the more players you've got in the box, right, the more likely you are to score a goal. That is really just my thinking with it. It really is just that simple. So yeah, 7 players in the box, and you guessed it, YouTube. If you are going to take anything from this video, and I mean anything from these custom tactics, remember to lower your corners and free kicks down from 3-3 to 2-2. It'll help you, it'll stop you getting counter-attacked on from your own corners and own free kicks so much. Remember, every time you get a corner, if you don't score from it, you're liable to a counter-attack. Lowering it down from that default 3-2 just negates that completely. So yeah, they're the tactics that I use with the 3-5-2. How do I set my team up? Obviously like so, Mbappe on the right, Cancelo on the left. Back 3 on the pay-to-win account is stacked. So Hakimi, Marquinhos, Diaz, Hullet, Kante as my 2 CDMs. Dino behind R9 and Cruyff. Player instructions then, YouTube. Stay central on both of my strikers. That is it. You know, normally I've been a firm believer of getting behind and stuff like that. On a 3-5-2, because we've got that many attacking options, you don't really need to have them on getting behind. So I literally just have stay central on my 2 strikers. That is it. Don't have come back on defence. Don't have getting behind like I would normally. Just stay central. I was trying aggressive interceptions and stuff like that for like a real high press, but you don't need it really. The 2 strikers being on stay central is more than enough. The cam, YouTube, this is where it does get interesting. Stay forward. Do not come back to support the defence. I don't want my cam to come back and support the defence. You will see with the other player instructions why I don't want that. So stay forward, and very important, YouTube, get into the box for cross on my cam. Very important that is. My left mid then, YouTube, is on come back on defence, get in behind, and get into the box for cross. Very important that you put him on come back on defence, and that is the same for my right mid. So come back on defence, excuse me, get in behind and get into the box for cross. Very important to come back on defence. Very important. My 2 CDMs then, YouTube, literally completely default. I don't touch my CDMs at all. Okay, at all. Literally, they're even on cover wing, and the reason for that is because of the 3 centre-backs being quite narrow, so I want them to cover that width on the outside. And then last but not least, YouTube, all 3 of my centre-backs are on stay back while attacking, and then, of course, my goalkeeper comes for crosses and sweeper keeper. And that right there, YouTube, is the best custom tactics on FIFA 22 that are going to make your opponents rage and smash their TV. If you did enjoy this video, please make sure to drop a like on it. Drop a comment down below, hit that subscribe button to my channel, and hit that bell so you do get a notification every time I do drop a brand new video. That would mean the world to me. We're so close to 20k, so please hit that subscribe button. Also, check out Luke1977.com, link to his website down in the description below. Use the code WOLF20 at the checkout for 20% off everything. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love.